Good afternoon. Seeing Kenny's incredible tacks and everyone else just ripping, especially at speed, and one person does a radical move and then all of a sudden everyone else is doing it. Reminds me of the 4-minute mile story. It was thought to be impossible for a human being to run a mile in under 4 minutes. The story goes that they'd been trying in earnest since at least 1886. Then, in 1954, Roger Bannister, at age 25, ran a mile in 3 minutes and 59 seconds. Then almost unbelievably, 46 days later, another runner did it. And within a year, 3 more runners did it in the same race. In the first 60 years of trying to run a mile in under 4 minutes, nobody could do it. And in the 60 years since that first person, over 1,700 people have done it. Maybe it's like the development of wing foiling and the sudden rise in popularity. Foiling itself has been around for over a century. The air chair for sit-on human-controlled foiled was in 1984. That was 40 years ago. Modern handheld sails go back to 1900, maybe earlier. In the movie Klaus, a toy like a wind ice surfer is given to a Sami child. So who knows? The technology could go back thousands of years. And given all that, it wasn't until just a few years ago that it all came together. And since then, it was just like, boom, the possibility, we all saw it and it just took off. This is the point where an infomercial or an inspirational speech or a sales pitch would insert there. So what's your 4-minute mile? What's our collective 4-minute mile? What limiting beliefs are we holding on to? Maybe world peace, harmony with nature, empathy, cooperation, love. Thinking a bit about the 4-minute mile story, I asked, what's changed about humans, or what did back then? What techniques or technologies were developed? And I couldn't think of any. And I was like, well, what about steroids? Was that invented back then? Or what about performance enhancers? What if that whole story is BS? So I did what I do when I craft these stories. I looked it up, dug into it. In 1957, the New York Times ran a front page story that sub 4-minute milers were taking amphetamines. Bannister, the guy who first did it, said he did not, and he was staunchly anti-drug for years, for his whole life. And I don't know what the truth is or if there's any truth to that, but it sure got me thinking. And what about the 1,700 people that have done it since then? Are they all doped up? Are they all on performance enhancers, taking steroids, whatnot? How many did it naturally, if any? And if so, why? Is it like foiling, that it just took years of collective trying and putting stuff together and driving each other forward and trying new things, and then suddenly, all of a sudden, boom, it all comes together in one stroke of genius and everyone else catches on? For me, it's a lesson in discernment and taking every hearsay with a grain of salt and letting go of measuring myself against others and keeping up with the Joneses. Question everything, as they say, especially anything that involves money and fame. When I got into running, it wasn't to beat any records or fame or fortune, anything like that. Likewise, with wing foiling, I'm uninterested in what the records are or the best or the fastest. The fact that it exists and I can see it and I do it myself and enjoy it, that's enough. My own personal discernment is that in doing it, I have fun. I don't need to compare myself to anyone else. Just the mere fact that I do it and it brings me joy and I'm having fun, that's enough. I'm stoked to announce I have these Stoked shirts, the Stoke Foil shirt, got the Wind Lifts All Wing shirt, got the Wing Foiler design shirt, hats, hoodies, mugs, got the Foilosopher. I love that one. Stoked on that one. The other designs with my logo and more to come. And so everybody needs shirts, everybody needs hats and a hoodie now and then. So please show your support and get some cool clothing and Stoke design and support me and the site while you're at it. So thank you so much, and I hope to see you out there real soon. Big hug and long, fast rides.